I'm here live at Fest, and I'm pleased to announce my team reveal for the 22-23 season for Game Week 1. And, without further ado, let's go. So, squad of 15, I looked at the different formations on what was available, and after a long, hard think about what I could choose, looked at all the variables in play as well. I thought, you know what? It's 4-4-2. 4-4-2. This at the start of this season is the most balanced formation. It's more flexible than any other formation, and you've got that. You can just have balance all across the field, really, in defence, in midfield, and in attack. So I've gone 4-4-2 at the start of this season. In goal, I was not convinced by any of the budget goalkeepers at 4.5, at 4.0, even the 5.0s. I wanted to make the most of Edison being a cheap goalkeeper. 10 years ago, Joe Hart was a 7.0 goalkeeper in FPL. We have now Edison, who's a better goalkeeper for City, and he's 5.5 million. Make the most of it. I had to get him in. The benefit is I hopefully won't have to change my goalkeeper even up until wildcard 1 or even the unlimited transfers during the World Cup. So Edison's in goal for me. In defence, with my four starting defenders, Cancelo and Alexander-Arnold, obviously. Forget EO. It's just all about their class. They're amazing. They're sensational. And, you with a good run of games as well, you just can't go amiss with them, really. So I was fairly content with those two signings. And I guess, I won't be the only one who has them in the team. So I think that's fairly obvious. And then moving on to my other two defenders, I've gone for James. Now with James, I wasn't really enthused about him, but then Everton seem a bit problematic at the moment, and I know Cucurella's joined as well. That'll be an interesting dynamic as well. But look, James, we know what we can get from him, and let's just hope he hits the ground running as well. My fourth starting defender is Kieran Trippier. Now, I wasn't really enthused about him either, but then I thought, you know what? He's on set pieces, got a good run of opening games. It makes perfect sense. So Trippier is my fourth starting defender. Trent, Cancelo, James, and I'd also say Trippier is a talisman to some degree for that Newcastle United team as well. So I'm fairly content with that. And my sub-5 defender is Neco Williams. I love a 4.0 defender. You can't go wrong. There's been years where I've had like two in the final 15. And I'd even start one as well, like Lundstrom and whatnot. But Neco Williams is my sub-2. Moving on to midfield, obviously, Mohamed Salah has to be in there for me. And I'm captaining him as well for this game week. I mean, you've seen my poll from earlier today. He's got, his EO is going to be ridiculous, like more than 150, 160, 170% plus for this game week. So, we know what Mo Salah can do. And we know his pedigree against newly promoted teams as well. So Mohamed Salah there with the captaincy armband. And then obviously due to that formation that I have to, I've got the balance and flexibility to not then panic and have random buys. So I went with a 8.0 midfielder. This was the hardest choice I had in the entire selection process. There's so many good 8.0 options. I ultimately went with Luis Diaz, because I felt, you know what, triple Liverpool, start of game week 1. When am I going to get the opportunity again? Triple Liverpool, can't go wrong with him, and hopefully he'll provide value. And I can't go wrong with that. So just give me one moment. I just want to say hello to someone. So I'm on my live space. Hey, good.
Are you on a space?
Yeah, I'm on a space.
Hey, everyone! Bonkers, hey!
I'll see you inside, mate. I'll see you inside. Sorry. And Luis Diaz at 8.0. Look, is he the best one? Who knows? But I feel he can offer value, and I just hope Jota is out for as long as possible, and I hope Diaz bangs. If Diaz does not bang from the start of game week 1, a price drop is fairly, inevitable. And then my other two midfielders, it's Marcus Rashford. Now with him, he had a 3 million price cut, for this season. Obviously, last season wasn't that great for him, but then I'm hoping he'll be playing as a striker, at least in the early game weeks for United, and ultimately, he has a point to prove. He wants to place in the World Cup, so yeah. And Brighton, who they're starting against, they've got some defensive issues right now. So I'm hoping for the best with him as an option. 6.5 million, you can't go wrong. He's almost like a premium without the premium price tag. Let's just hope he bangs now. And then my fourth midfield option is Leon Bailey. 5.0 million, wasn't even on my radar at the start of pre-season, but he's put on a good show. He's got a point to prove. And Bournemouth Bournemouth away, that is, he's got to, if he's going to hit the ground running, it's going to be against them. And I know he's got other, assets who are around him who might undermine his attacking prowess, or I guess could even complement him as well. But yeah, Ramsey as a 5.0, he was the best 5.0 in the game, in my opinion, with a honourable mention to KDH. But yeah, I can't go wrong, hopefully, with Bailey as my 5.0. And then my fifth midfielder, you'll know who it is. It's Andreas Pereira, 4.5 million, hopefully playing in a number 10 role for Fulham, very underpriced. And yeah, it just made sense. He's my sub one, and I haven't got him as bench fodder. I'm hoping I can also alternate Pereira with Kieran Trippier for certain game weeks this season as well. So just hoping for the best there as well. And then, yeah, I guess lastly, my strikers, it's fair, Gabriel Jesus with 75% ownership. Can't ignore him. Again, a premium without the premium price tag. I couldn't say no to him. So had to get him in. And, with Arsenal's good run of games, I'm hoping he can, if not exceed his tally of attacking returns from last season. And then next to him, this was a really hard choice. I'm not going to lie to you. It was between Haaland and Kane. And Kane was in my team for long periods of this pre-season. I really wanted Kane. I think Kane's going to hit the ground running. Kane's going to absolutely bang in these early game weeks, right? Against Southampton, against Chelsea, and the other teams that they have. But I went for Haaland. And it really came down to this, that it sounds bad. I thought, can I get away by having Haaland over Kane? And it came to EO. I'm not going to lie to you. I felt that, Haaland's EO is double of Kane's. And Haaland had a mixed, shall we say, Community Shield. I'm hoping that he can prove himself early on, maybe not at West Ham, but like in the early game week. So I just thought, I'll go for him. I probably should have just gone Kane. And then the thing is, in the long term, I want Haaland over Kane. And then, there's other Spurs options I could have got. My plan basically was, I had a premium with Kane, with Haaland, with Salah, but it didn't work. It wasn't balanced. I couldn't justify it. And then I thought, I've got an 8.0 slot. I have to get Kulusevski in there to cover not having Kane and Son. And then I had to move away from that and just justify Diaz very late today. So, yeah, it is what it is. So I've got Haaland and I've got Jesus as my main strikers. But again, yeah, I wouldn't say I'm fully confident by just having them. Just the lack of a Son or a Kane in my team is deeply worrying, but I'm hoping for game week 1, comparatively, their EOs are relatively low, and I'm hoping it won't be too much damage, but I fear that they're going to bang from the get-go. That's my biggest worry. And lastly, my final striker, 4.5 striker, I rotated through different options here. Could have been anyone. Greenwood, I feel that his price drop is inevitable. He's got 4.4 written all over him. I didn't want to minus 0.1 after like a few days into the season. So I actually went for Archer. Archer has a lower ownership. I feel he might get a cameo minute here and there as a sub, just a sub for Villa. And if he gets one, if he gets a point here and there as a sub 3 for me, I don't mind. It's not a big issue. So it is what it is. I've seen lots of different teams, and a lot of people have that bench combination of Pereira, of Neco Williams, and also of Archer as well. And I think that's fairly template in certain rank tests, if I'm perfectly honest. So just a recap of what I've just said. I've gone 4-4-2. In goal, I've got Edison. In defence, I've got Cancelo, Trent, James, and Trippier, and Neco sub 1. In midfield, I've got Mohamed Salah, I've got Diaz, and I've got Rashford, and I've got Bailey. Andreas Pereira sub 1, strikers Haaland and Jesus, Archer as my sub 3. And, it was interesting. Why did I choose Diaz very last minute? It was on Kulusevski, then it shifted to Saka, and then it moved to Luis Diaz. And I thought to myself, I may not get the opportunity to have triple Liverpool and triple City at the start of a game week 1 ever again. We're very lucky that FPL have chopped so many prices, and it's for that very reason. I think it's almost like that was the cheat code they've given us, that they've reduced so many prices so we can have teams like this, and we don't have to rely on a 4.0 defender starting for us or a 4.5 midfielder starting for us from the get-go. We have this flexibility and we have this balance. And yeah, without further ado, I'm just hoping for the best, and it is what it is. So I pretty much picked my team a few days ago. Yeah, last couple of changes at the end there, but I'm content. For me, I can justify all of my picks. Again, I also at one point I even had triple Arsenal actually, Martinelli, Saka, and also I had Jesus as well in my 11. I thought I'm at Fest. I don't want triple Arsenal just to kill me from like the get go. So I was like, yeah, I'm not going to do that. And yeah, it is what it is. Listen, everyone, may your arrows be green, may your mind be serene. Take care. Have a fantastic season. Much love.